Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over a web page, a fictional web page that I had to put together for an assignment. And in this assignment, I had to have a basic web application to display ebooks and play audiobooks, generate at least 5 ebook titles and contents using an AI text generator, using text-to-speech. So this implements functionality to convert the ebook text into spoken audio files such as MP3 format, which is the format that I used. I had to develop a user interface, so it had to be simple yet functional, where the user can select the ebook, download and read or listen to the files. I had to comment on each line of the HTML, and the website had to have a good user experience, UX, and now I'm doing the YouTube video to wrap up the assignment. So let's dive into this. First, let's take a look at the HTML for the original version of the web page that I built. As you can see, there's a lot of comments in there as required. So for each line or section of the HTML, I added some comments to give context to what was happening throughout the page. So for every web page, it always has a head and a body. In the head portion, I put the title, the plot spot, which is the name of the bookstore, and I have the character encoding or car encoding and a viewport for the page, and then I dive right into the body. So in the header, it has basically the style of the text, and then the title of the bookstore, a plot spot, online bookstore, and then talks about enjoying your collection, enjoying our collection of the most amazing short stories on the web, and then click the link to download them. Then we get into the main part of the content. So for each section, you'll see the same pattern, flow from one book to the next. So you got your div style, which is a divider in between sections. And then we've got our links, so ahref, the story 1, this will be repeated through story 1, story 2, story 3, etc. And it has the image for the icon for that delineates the download, and then it says download the story, and then there's another one for the MP3, download the story in the MP3 format, and then it has the actual story text behind it. And then this repeats for each of the 5 books. And we'll quickly scroll down and get into the JavaScript. Now, what this does is make the web page a little bit more interactive and makes it more like a web application. And then we've got our function that it gets the story content for each of the story IDs. So that was the story 1 through 5. There's a blob object that will contain the new story content, create a new URL, set the link's href attribute to the URL object that contains the blob object. Then we set the link's download attribute to the story title, and then we programmatically click the link to download the story. Notice that this automatically downloads the story as a text file, and then the user doesn't have to do this manually. And for a quick overview on how I generated the text-to-speech file, I use GTTS, and then I have a main function, and it's a very simple program. You can see the code here. I input the text, I hit the go button basically in the upper right corner, and then I end up getting a file output. In this case, it was the Shattered Chronology MP3, and then that file is what ends up getting downloaded at the end of the experience when they click the link. Here I click the first couple links to download the story, and then as text, and download the story as an MP3.
Isabel stared at the bizarre crimson marking emblazoned on the inner wall of the subterranean chamber. It seemed to pulse with an eerie, arcane.
This was the original web page that I created. And you can see, I've got my 5 books, and it's a functional web page. It looks okay, but it's not very professional looking. So then what I ended up doing was going to a program called Nice Page. And what it does is it allows you to arrange your page in a more professional setup. So I took a lot of the same content, the book covers, some of the text and everything, and just ended up making that and converting that over to a more organized and professional looking output. So I click on the about and contact, and I did run into this problem, so I'll have to fix this. The logo in the upper left corner is broken, and that was there was something to do with the way that the file was generated. It had a bunch of underscores and hyphens, and I got rid of that and just called it something simple like logo, and it fixed that. So I'll go back and I'll fix that. So I do a little demonstration here, and in this case it's not really downloading the file, it's actually just displaying it on the screen. So later on, if I want, I can change that. And then if you click on the MP3 audio, it actually plays it right in the window.
Isabel stared at the bizarre crimson marking emblazoned on the inner wall of the subterranean chamber. It seemed to pulse with an eerie, arcane luminescence
Instead of being a download. So this just kind of goes to show the power of a lot of the tools that you have available on the web in order to create very easily a professional looking website. I think this entire assignment took me maybe 6 or 7 hours to put together the content with image generation, the code for doing the text-to-speech output, and then getting to know the Nicepage output. So yeah, I think I spent more time learning Nicepage than I did with a lot of the other stuff, because some of that stuff, once you get going, it goes pretty quickly. It's more of a once you get into the repetition part of it. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a comment, leave a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time.